Okay, here we go.
Stretching the glutes.
Yeah. Hi, this is Chris McCormack. I'm Greg Welch, and we're stretching our glutes. We're stretching the glutes?
Stretching the glutes.
Yeah,
we don't usually sit like this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, Chris, defending champion 2007 was a fantastic year, running a 2:42 to grab your first Ironman victory. Now this year, wearing number 1, how's your form?
The form's good, but like I said, everyone, I've always come in good form, and I've got 1 title. But we changed a lot around this year. I know I always try to approach the year and think, okay, if I had to race the defending champion next year, what would I do? And I know a lot of these guys be thinking, I don't really want to get in the marathon race with myself or Alexander. So I've worked a lot on my bike ride this year, and the results have been very, very sound. I'm very confident and happy to be back again.
Absolutely, you look good anyway. Now, this year is going to be a little bit different because, last year it was pretty much just a lot of swimmers coming out together, and you guys, formed a group early and just went off and raced. But this year, Andy Potts, Benjamin Sanson, 2 guys that, you've raced a lot before in the short course and a long time ago with Benjamin being fantastic swimmers. Do you sense that, Norman and Torbjorn and Lieto, the guys like that will, try and break early and try and get up the road? And if so, that cycling that you've been working on is going to have to work.
Yeah, well, last year I think with the exit of the Germans early in the race, we got out to Harvey and there was a couple of guys up the road that really didn't pose a threat, and the bike ride back from Harvey was pedestrian. To be honest with you, we did nothing, and I think that's why we executed such fast marathon times. This year things will be different. It'll be back to normal. We're used to a very, very fast second half of the bike here. The marathon tends to slow down a lot, and with Potts and Benji, I swam with Benji this morning. He's motivated. Benji wants these preems. He wants to lead the Polani on the top of the run course. So they're motivated to ride this bike very, very hard. And Lieto and Simbale and Stadler have a lot of work to do to get across to them, and then they'll keep the pace very solid. So I expect the bike ride to be very, very hard, all the way out to Harvey and back. And when it is like that, Kauai High is crunch time. A lot of people fall off the pace after the climb at Kauai High back through Scenic Lookout there, and it's going to be tough. And maybe we won't see the fast marathon times of last year, but it's going to be a war. I think it's exciting. It's great to have new blood here. Andy Potts is a phenomenal talent. He's a 70.3 world champion. He's a very, very fast runner, an incredible swimmer. But as I've learnt, and a lot of people who have come here have learnt, this race is special, and the event begins at hour 7, and if you're not ready to turn the gas on at hour 7, then you're not going to be in the hunt to win this race.
Yeah, very well said. Wanted to ask you a little bit about that run. The course itself is not that difficult. It's just everything around it, the elements, can be the conditions as well. But, when it comes down to the run, you're generally running against somebody. Do you like to get into a duel, or do you like to be out on your own?
I would like to be in a duel. I think, I'd like to have people around me. Looking at this year's event, we expected Potts and these guys to be off the front, and I like to have somebody to chase. It's very, very difficult to be alone out in front with nobody there. You're the marker, but when there's someone else to mark down, and last year it was superb with Simbale and Lieto gave us something to chase early. I had Crowe right up my bum, and he had a marker in me. And
right up where?
Yeah, I mean that in the nicest way. Take that one back. I had Crowe right behind me, and the other guys just there, they gave us a marker, points to mark. And when I hit the front, it became difficult. You don't get the splits, you don't know what's going on behind, and you're facing your fears, and are they closing, where are they? You don't know what's happening, and that becomes very difficult. So this year with some boys up the front, it does open up for a tough, fast marathon, which is great, and it gives people to chase, and I'm looking forward to that. I think it really plays into my strengths. So, if the guys want to get into a war and have a running race, I'm happy to do that. I grew up doing World Cup racing, Formula 1 racing in Australia. I'm used to having runners around me as opposed to running solo. I train with people. I would prefer to have people around me in that sense.
Yeah. Okay, I think there is going to be an all-out war there. It's going to be an assault on the lava fields this coming weekend. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I am glad that I am a spectator, and if there's one mistake that I made in my triathlon life, that was getting into a sprint with Chris McCormack at Alcatraz after we ran about 10k, just chatting it up, trying to psych each other out, and I think I gave it to you, so you owe me.
Hey, and that what I ate? A couple of beers? That was 10 years ago. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. Look at this, mate. I'm 20 kilos overweight and I got the crow's feet. All right, that's Chris McCormack.